Welcome back to the portfolio, everyone. Today we're going over the top 5 5G stocks you can buy right now. If you're looking to diversify your portfolio, add some stocks that are going to benefit from 5G, these 5 stocks you should take a look at for sure. So before we go over the 5 stocks, I'm just going to do a very brief overview of what 5G is and how it's going to actually change our society. A lot of people may not know what 5G is. They may have heard the big news headlines where 5G is the future, 5G is going to change the game. Today we're going to go over exactly why that's going to happen and if it's actually going to happen and if we believe it's going to happen moving forward. So before we jump into the 5 stocks, let's do a quick overview. So currently we're using 4G LTE, and you can see this shows the difference between 5G and 4G. So 5G, higher amounts of data can be transmitted more efficiently than 4G. That means stronger network reliability, faster downloads, and support for more connected devices than ever before. So stronger reliability, enhanced capacity, and of course, faster speeds, which is what's going to be expected from 5G. So what does this really mean for you and me, the individual users who use the devices day to day? The fifth generation 5G of network technology has the potential to benefit everything from entertainment and gaming to education and public safety. Over time, 5G is expected to deliver faster download speeds, real-time responses, and enhanced connectivity, giving businesses and consumers the potential to experience new, innovative technologies. So 5G is expected to change the game, to change how we use technology on the daily basis, and is really going to make things more fast, easy, more responsive, and a lot more efficient to use. So the short answer on how it's really going to change the game is that it will improve your network connection dramatically. You won't have to deal with disruptions when sharing videos from crowded arenas, nor will high quality videos on your newsfeed cause frustration from all the buffering. Instead, you're going to get a faster, more secure connection with new services and experiences that are going to be out anytime soon. More efficient capabilities and vastly increased capacity means you'll enjoy better performance than ever before. So essentially everything we have right now is going to be more efficient, you're going to connect it faster, more reliable, and everything's going to happen a lot faster. So that's the future of 5G, and that's what's really going to happen. So today we're going to go over the top 5 stocks that are actually going to benefit from this new shift in technology and the new uses for technology. So of course there are a ton of different companies out there that are going to benefit from 5G. No way are these all of them. These are just 5 of the picks that I believe are going to really for sure benefit. There's going to be a lot of other companies, a lot of different sectors that are going to benefit as well, and we'll make future videos along those lines coming up later in the week or the month. So these are the top 5 stocks you can take a look at. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you to please like and subscribe. I am the Gen Z investor, and every single day I come up with new videos that talk about different stocks you can buy, the overall stock market performance, and of course any big market headlines or news that comes out. So the first stock on this list is Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM, currently trading at $91.87 a share. As you can see here on the 1-year price chart, they are up close to 19%. They have a market cap at over 100 billion, making this a large company with a nice current yield around 2.83%. On the 52-week range, they are trading towards the 52-week high, but not directly at an all-time high right now. And Qualcomm is essentially a chip manufacturer. They do a lot of other things, but that is the core part of their business. They manufacture and sell a lot of chips to different big name consumer brands. And we're going to take a look at why they are going to generate some revenue from 5G. So Qualcomm incorporates, designs, develops, and manufactures and markets digital communication products worldwide and operates through 3 different business segments. And of course, they sell, manufacture, and produce a lot of computer programming, a lot of software, hardware development products that are really going to benefit from 5G moving forward. And a very interesting part of this shows that Apple will actually use Qualcomm's 5G chips on their iPhones till 2023. So that's going to lead to huge growth in revenue for Qualcomm. For every 5G chip they produce, they're actually going to generate more revenue than they ever have before. Their markup's going to be higher, and that's going to lead to extremely nice growth in revenue for the company, especially considering they have that locked-in deal with iPhone and Apple that's only going to grow through 2023. That means the company has predictable, 2 to 4 years growth in future revenues, which means Qualcomm could be a buy right now, because if their revenues continue to grow, net income continues to grow in the future, that essentially assumes their share price is going to hopefully follow that up, and you may be able to make some nice capital gains from Qualcomm. If you want to take a quick look at their financials, Qualcomm has done a good job of increasing revenue year over year. You can see here 22 billion 3 years ago, all the way up to over 24.7 billion in the past 12 months. So they've done a nice job of growing revenue. Net income is also on an upward trend. 2.4 billion. Of course, they did post a net loss in 2018, but has followed it up by nice net income gains in the past 2 years. With regard to their balance sheet, they have a strong balance sheet. You can take a quick look and see that their current assets are over 16.7 billion. Meanwhile, total current liabilities are only around close to 9 billion. So they have a current ratio high up there, closer to 2, which means the company does have enough assets over the next 12 months to pay off all their liabilities, and they can maintain operations in the short term. With regard to that dividend, they do pay a 2.83% dividend, 70% payout ratio, so on the high side, but nothing too worrying just yet. Beautiful 5-year dividend growth rate of 9% with a 17-year dividend growth streak. Just shows the company has done very well at maintaining and increasing that dividend year over year for the past 17 years. With a nice starting yield and that nice dividend growth rate, you are getting some good compounding effect with Qualcomm. And of course, we are always looking for that share appreciation with this type of company because we are hoping 5G helps grow their business dramatically. And this increase in revenue and net income will hopefully lead to increased share price, where we can, of course, make some nice capital gains along with this nice dividend. The second stock on this list that will benefit from 5G is, of course, Apple. And of course, Apple is the second largest company on the S&P 500 with a market cap of 1.58 trillion. On the 1-year chart is up close to 80% and has fully recovered and reached new highs from the pre-pandemic levels, trading close to its all-time high right now. Apple has done a phenomenal job of continuing to grow even during the economic shutdown. And why I believe Apple is actually going to benefit extremely from 5G is that when you have 5G, you're going to need a new phone. Older iPhone models, the current iPhone models out right now, are not able to support 5G. So when 5G actually goes out and across all America and all the other countries throughout the world in Europe and Asia, if people want to have access to 5G, they're going to have to pay and upgrade their phone. And Apple's retention rate for iPhone users is close to over 90%. So that means a lot of people, 90% of the market share who already own an iPhone, are looking to upgrade towards another iPhone. This is going to really lead iPhone sales and really going to increase those sales moving forward, because if 5G, once it becomes mainstream and once people start seeing the benefits of 5G and realizing that if they want to have those benefits, they're going to have to upgrade their new device, Apple is going to benefit from that. If they can retain 90% of their customers and 90% of their existing customers choose to upgrade their iPhone to the new one, the new version, the 12, the 13, whatever it may be, in order to have access to 5G, that's going to lead to huge revenue growth for Apple moving forward, which is one of the many reasons I believe they are going to benefit very nicely from 5G. With regard to their financial statements, Apple's done a great job of growing revenue year over year for the past 5 years. And of course, we take a look at net income. Apple just generates huge amounts of net income. 53 billion, a little bit of decline, but it has continued to grow. Trailing 12 months, they've generated $57 billion of net income. If you take a look at their balance sheet, you can see here total cash. So Apple is a cash machine. They have a huge bank account. So total current cash and short-term investments of 94 billion. 94 billion in cash and short-term investments. Total current assets for the company are around 143 billion. Meanwhile, total current liabilities sit just around 96 billion. So if you want to really take a look how strong Apple's balance sheet is, they have total current liabilities of 96 billion. Meanwhile, they have total current cash and short-term investments. So cash essentially on hand of 94 billion. They can really pay off all their liabilities in the next 12 months with almost all of the cash they just have sitting on hand right now or in short-term investments, which is absolutely beautiful to see. This company is going to have no problems with regard to their financial position in the next short term whatsoever. The next thing about Apple, of course, take a look at that very low but nice starting yield at 0.9%. Annual payout at $3.28 per share. Very low, very sustainable. Huge room growth for this of only 26% payout ratio. Very nice 5-year dividend growth rate of just over 10%. And they have been growing that dividend for 7 straight years. And I believe they will continue to grow that dividend moving forward without any worry whatsoever. The next stock on our list is, of course, T-Mobile. So, of course, all the telecommunication companies, AT&T, Verizon, are also going to benefit from 5G. But I put T-Mobile here just because of this thing right here, that T-Mobile was actually the first mobile network that pulls ahead of the other two big boys, AT&T and Verizon, and of their development of their mobile 5G network using 600 megahertz frequency that already covers 215 million people, putting ahead of course, the other two big names, AT&T and Verizon. They actually merged with Sprint. T-Mobile is also on track to deploy 5G using mid-band frequencies ahead of AT&T and Verizon. So because of their advantage, because they were actually first to get out there and first to develop these frequencies across 215 million people, I believe T-Mobile is going to have the great first benefit when 5G really becomes mainstream. I think the other two companies, of course, are going to eventually catch up, but I think for gains in the short term and actually gaining some nice market share, being first to market and being the first one to develop and deploy the 5G network, T-Mobile is actually going to do very well in the short term, and I really think it's going to be a long-term growth of the company. I really think this is what the fact is really going to help the company compete with the other two big boys moving forward. If we take a look at T-Mobile, they do not pay a dividend, but they have a 1-year price appreciation of over 40%. That is the one difference factor between the other two, like telecommunication companies, AT&T and Verizon, because both those companies pay extremely high yields. Verizon yields over 4%, AT&T yields close to 7% right now. So when people are like jumping into that sector, those yields are very attractive. Meanwhile, T-Mobile doesn't offer those yields. But of course, when you're looking for stocks, you want to always focus on total return, combination of share price appreciation and dividends. So of course, T-Mobile is starting to compete within that factor right now. Over the 1 year, they are up 40%, and that company is only growing. And I really believe 5G is going to help benefit them extremely nicely. If we take a look at their financials, they've done a good job of growing revenue year over year. $40 billion 3 years ago, and the trailing 12 months, they've generated $45 billion of total revenue. Net income following a similar trend, growing nicely year over year. With regard to balance sheet, they should improve their balance sheet moving forward because they do have current assets around $9.3 billion. Meanwhile, their total current assets at around $12.5 billion. So that current ratio is below 1. They really should try to bump that up as soon as possible, generate a little bit more cash, a little bit more short-term investments in order to pay off all their total current liabilities. The fourth stock on this list is actually going to be a REIT. Stocks 4 and 5 on this list are REITs, ticker symbol AMT, American Tower Corporation REIT, currently trading at $264 a share. 1 year chart, you can see they're up 28.49%. Market cap around $117 billion with a nice starting yield at 1.67%. They are trading very close to their 52-week high right now. This company, I believe, is going to extremely benefit from 5G because essentially this is a cell tower REIT. They're one of the largest global REITs, leading independent owner, operator, developer of multi-tenant communications real estate with a portfolio of approximately 171,000 communication sites. They do a lot of other communication to site development products as well, but of course this is a cell tower REIT, which is going to really benefit during 5G because to have that increased speed, increased reliability, and increased connectivity that 5G is promising, the cell towers have to be close together. There's going to have to be more cell towers located closer together to increase that connectivity, to have that reliability and that speed connection. So these tower REITs are really going to benefit moving forward because there's going to be an increased demand for their services, and it's only going to grow that demand as the population grows, as overall 5G demand grows, and as technology grows into the future. So with regard to AMT, you can see they've done a great job. They have been growing revenue year over year for the past 5-6 years. And if we take a look at their payout ratio, so this is a REIT, so a lot of people look at dividend payout ratio the traditional way, which makes this REIT show a very high payout ratio of over 85-90%. But with REITs, you want to take a look at their FFO payout ratio, their funds from operations. You can see here, they have a much more sustainable FFO payout ratio at around 45-47%. And that just shows that the REIT has funds from operations to cover all their dividend and grow it moving forward. If we take a look at the actual dividend summary here, you can see a nice starting yield at 1.67%. Of course, that's on the lower side, but they have insane dividend growth over the past 5 years at around 22% dividend growth rate, and they have been growing that dividend for 8 years. So although you're getting a lower starting yield, that dividend is growing rapidly each and every year, so your compounding is going to work to your advantage moving forward. The fifth and final stock on this REIT is CCI, of course, Crown Castle International Corporation, another REIT currently trading at $170 a share. 1 year chart, you can see it's up 28%, fully recovered from the pandemic lows and has continued to grow moving forward. Once again, trading very close to its all-time high, $70 billion market cap with a yield around 2.8%. They've done a great job of growing revenues year over year, which is great to see. And with regard to that nice dividend you'd be collecting, this is around 2.8 starting yield, higher payout ratio with a 6-year dividend growth streak. So with CCI, this is another cell tower REIT that's going to benefit extremely well from 5G. AMT and CCI are two companies where if you need to diversify into the real estate sector, especially because the new change where retail real estate may not be on the rise anymore and office real estate may be declining, these two types of REITs will get you into the real estate sector, and it will actually be in growing sectors of the market that will only see future expansion moving forward. So those were the top 5 REIT and stocks that you could take a look at right now that are going to grow with regard to 5G. So if you believe 5G is the future, you may want to add Compleats to your portfolio. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.